Dear trainees, today we are discussing topic teaching reading of prose, its definition, features and journal aim and objectives. Before I start, firstly discuss learning outcomes of this topic. After the completion of this topic, our students are able to understand the aspects of prose reading, analyze the content of a given passage, develop active listening skills, read a variety of materials, newspapers, journals, magazines, novels, chapters of books coherently, understand how prose is different from poetry. Firstly, I'll define what is prose. Prose is words in their best order. As you know very well, prose is the backbone of English language. There are two broad distinctions of literature, that is prose and poetry. Every material in English language either in the form of prose or verse. Prose is very simple form of written or spoken communication. Poetry is a metrical composition, but prose is not. Prose is a common and natural method of speech. It is the most used and preferred form by common people and writers. A journal or routine communication is a form of prose. Now I am discussing the definition of prose. Definition: any communication spoken or written through the use of language, sentences, or statements without the use of rhythm, rhyme, and meter, but with proper grammatical structure, should be considered as prose. With the help of few examples, we can understand the importance of prose writing. It includes everyday communications, lectures, speech or address, short story, essays, newspapers, research articles, our great constitution, textbook, etc. are the common examples of prose. There are some specified uses of prose in teaching learning skills. First one, the written prose, that is sentence formation. Formation of paragraphs and passages and then combining passages into broad writing category. Prose is devoid of any type of poetry or poetic compositions. Anything in the English language which is not poetry or verse is prose. We can also use the term prose fiction to write short stories. Let us list some common features of prose. The very first is, in prose, everyday or common language is integral because in writings, prose has more scope as compared to poetry. Poetry has lines and stanzas, while prose has sentences and paragraphs. There is no break in sentences, and also coherence is intact in prose. Work of prose is lengthy as compared to poetry, and it has lucid flow of speech and writing. Prose does not include meter and rhyme. Rules of grammar and structures are followed strictly to construct prose. Prose is the most preferred medium of many literacy and non literacy works. With the help of these features, you can understand it is very easy to write prose. Next, let's discuss some main and general aims and objectives of prose. The main aim of teaching prose is to develop the language ability of the students. The language ability helps the learner to use English language without any problem. There are some general aims and objectives that enable the students to understand the passage and grasp its meaning, to develop listening skill of the students, because development of listening skill is very essential for the perception of learning, to read with correct pronunciation, stress, pause and articulation of voice, to enrich their active and passive vocabulary, to enable the students to understand the passage by silent reading, to develop the ability to write independently, to enjoy reading and writing, to develop their imagination, to help the students understand and give practice of structures and sentence patterns, to help the students understand the applied grammar contained in prose, to enable them to read prose effectively and with reasonable speed. So, dear trainees, With these features, you can motivate your students to read and write English language fluently. Various methods of teaching reading skill in prose. Some popular methods of teaching reading of prose. First one is alphabetic method, then phonic method, word method or look and say method, the phrase method, the sentence method. First method is the alphabetic method. It is very old method of teaching reading. In this method, students are taught the alphabets first, means the ABCD of the language. Once the students learn to identify letters, the letters are combined to form words. It is also known as the ABC method of the language. This method is criticized on the following ground: because English is not a phonetic language and this method is dull or monotonous method. Second method is the phonic method. In this method, students are told the common sounds of various letters. In this method, each word is broken up into basic speech sounds. The main motive of this method is to teach different sounds to the students. This method is also criticized on the following grounds. First, all the words cannot be taught by this method, and second one is there are a large number of words in English language in which have silent letters. Third method is the word method or look and say method. In this method, word is the unit of reading. A word is written on a flashcard or on the blackboard and it is accompanied by the picture for which it stands. For example, the word table is written and there is a picture of a table. This method is also called look and say method because as the student look to the picture and say the word. It is quite popular method. With the implementation of this method, we can increase the speed of reading. Fourth method is the phrase method. In this method, unit of learning is a phrase. The student learn phrases first and the alphabet afterwards. This method is based upon the assumptions that phrases are more interesting as compared to the words and place emphasis on the meaning. But this method also has some limitations because it is very time consuming method and hard method. Last methodology is the sentence method. In this method, sentence is the unit of learning. The student learn words and phrases afterwards. This is the method for exceptionally good students because average students fail to pick up the one complete sentence at a time. Lastly, you think which method is the best method. So out of the above mentioned methods of teaching reading, we find none of them is perfect in every respect. That's why we have to depend upon the combinations of all these methods. By using different methods, reading is taught to students. At the initial stage, the learner may not be good reader, but gradually the teacher makes them able to read accurately or correctly by taking care of pauses. In the last, I will explain the difference between the prose and poetry. Prose and poetry. In the prose, as I discussed earlier, we use sentences and paragraphs. But in poetry, we use lines and stanzas. In the prose, sounds similar to ordinary speech or writing. Whereas in poetry, sound is special or more artistic than normal speech. Prose may or may not be creative. It can be ordinary or simple. But in poetry has a main artistic purpose to share something personal. Feelings, imaginations, etc. A basic paragraph shares the idea about a topic, but in the poetry, lines share an idea. In prose, each paragraph will identify the idea, explain, and provide an evidence, whereas in poetry, stanzas are separated only by the empty lines. So, dear trainees, poetry is quite a different way of expression as compared to prose. It is quite clear that poetry is a more better form of expression as compared to prose. We can compare prose to walking, moving from one place to another, getting up the daily work done, while poetry may be compared to the dancing, rising above the surface, getting fuller view of the nature. So there is a great room for imagination in poetry as compared to the prose. Hopefully, dear trainees, this topic help you to learn about the prose, its features, methods of teaching to the students. Thank you very much.